Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Batman Returns the Penguin. This figure has me extremely excited. As much as I liked the Batmans and the Unmasked Batman that we've had a look at, Penguin, I think they did a really phenomenal job, and getting them out of packaging, I certainly cannot wait. Featured on the side of the packaging, whether you perceive this to be the Penguin or an abomination, there is Tim Burton's interpretation of the Penguin, which I liked. I liked that he was a mutant, that he was disfigured and came from wealth, though lived in the sewer. I thought that was a really nice touch. You know, Penguin is an arms dealer, and, you know, he's just a very shrewd businessman, but, you know, translate that to a Batman movie, especially the likes of like a Tim Burton movie. Penguin would ultimately just be a backstory character, or he would not be the main villain. He probably would just make an appearance. I think Tim Burton, to his credit, took Penguin and made him a little more than just a businessman. So I like that. You may not like that, but I liked what he did with the character. On the back of the packaging, there's the image once again of Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Also perfect choice for the Penguin as well. DC Comics Multiverse are inspired by comic-based character-rich entertainment sources such as movies and video games. These figures are meticulously designed to be truly authentic, celebrating the many universes of entertaining DC Comics material. Also characters available, there is the Unmasked Batman, a Masked Batman, and General Zod, all of which we've already had a look at. Your read-up on Penguin says, featured from the Batman Returns movie, real name Oswald Cobblepot. Mission to destroy Gotham City's firstborn, speciality, mind-controlled, missile-carrying penguins, which could potentially fall into the ridiculous end of Batman Returns, but I still like it. I'm not afraid to admit it. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Batman Returns the Penguin. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. For your consideration, the Penguin does come with an umbrella. One singular umbrella, and it's really only the way that it's been pegged in, but it does rotate really if you wanted to, kind of like it was in the movie. It's, as it goes for umbrellas, it's a little bland. I like that it's at least a black-topped umbrella, as opposed to it just being, you know, like just a red umbrella or something like that. That it has the dark coloring that carries over well with the figure. But, I mean, for all the different umbrellas that the Penguin features in the movie, you know, with the little child toys dangling from it, and, you know, the machine gun and stuff like that. I wish if we were going to at least get this umbrella, I wish it had been the one that was the white, black, white, black, white, black. I mean, you could go in and paint this if you wanted to, but just to kind of give it some extra something. Also kind of wish that the handle had been probably more like a gray or black, had this been painted differently as well, instead of just being a brown handle. This is kind of like a situation where I feel like a toy company puts effort into something, but they don't go above and beyond. Penguin is a good example. Like, we could have gotten more than one umbrella. Maybe, you know, for that matter, we could have also gotten ourselves display stands. But like Penguin, if this is the only 3 3/4 inch version of a Danny DeVito Penguin that we're ever going to get, I wish we could have gotten more umbrellas too. Like the propeller umbrella they had when they first encountered Catwoman. Again, the black, the white umbrella. You know, maybe the one with the kids. Maybe, you know, just 2 umbrellas. Just 2 I would have been happy with. You get 1, and I'm happy that we get 1, but again, Mattel could have given us more than 1. Just saying. The umbrella does fit in Penguin's hand. His hands are a little more rubbery, so like getting them in his hand is not easy. And then once in hand, you can see, like his, let me just show you his hands here. His hands, because they are rubbery, they really are difficult, especially because he's got less digits than a regular human hand. It makes things hard to get the umbrella actually in his hand without crushing, especially like this one finger right here, that you kind of have to hold the finger back because it wants to close shut on you. You kind of want to hold it open and quickly squeeze that umbrella in there while you still have a chance, and you can get the penguin to hold the umbrella. But it's kind of like Batman with the grapple gun. He holds it, but not well. But you know, you can still have the penguin holding his umbrella. I guess maybe you could also put it in the broader end of the handle versus the more narrow end of the umbrella. You could probably do that as well. I saw her first. But yeah, there's the umbrella. All right, so having a look at Penguin, I'm really, really happy with this piece. It's not perfect, but considering what we got for the initial Batman Returns line from Kenner, where we ultimately just got ourselves a re-release Superpowers version of Penguin that was paint decoed slightly different. Allegedly, you could think of it a couple of different reasons. One reason was that they pre-produced the figures before Penguin was officially designed, and that's why we got Superpowers figure version of Penguin. Most people feel like Kenner didn't want to produce a scary version of Penguin as a figure because they didn't want to scare the kids. So that was the reason we got a Superpowers version of Penguin instead of this guy right here. Whatever that reason might be, it's disappointing because those were fairly movie accurate figures. The only one that really stood out from that was the Penguin. The Penguin just looked like an older toy, painted slightly different. On the flip end of it, though, this is an amazing looking figure that I kind of wish I had when I was younger and the original Batman Returns figures were out. Now, it doesn't seem like it's 100% movie accurate for coloring. Like, I feel like his vest wasn't this gray and whatnot, but it's still a really phenomenal looking figure. Let's move the camera a little bit back here. His top hat doesn't come off. That I know Mattel's big on reusing molds. Anywhere they can reuse a mold. So maybe as a suggestion, what they could do is, like, I keep playing with this, but like this trench coat could come off, but of course then you've got the regular arms. So maybe give us a Penguin that doesn't have the top hat, utilizing the same face, taking this off and then changing out the arms, and then giving us more like the Mayor Penguin that we see for most of the movie. Having said that, though, I love the fact that we got Top Hat Penguin as this figure versus the one without, because Penguin, like, you always consider him more with the hat, even though most of the movie Penguin doesn't have that hat. But it's such a great looking piece. It's not scaled really all that well. In fact, there's Batman. Penguin is not really that tall. I mean, he's more like kind of like that in the movie, but to then warrant making a figure that's only about this tall, I prefer that he be at least taller like what we got here. It does beg the question, though, that we got ourselves 89 Batman, so will we ever get ourselves like a Jack Nicholson Joker? That's a big question to ask. And then also, because we've got a Catwoman and a Penguin from Batman Returns, does that also mean we're going to get eventually a Batman Returns Batman as well? Again, questions that you could ask. A lot of people, again, not thrilled by the fact that these figures are a 6-inch size and not that they are not a 6-inch size instead of being a 3 3/4 inch size. I like the fact that they're this size. I don't want them super big, especially if you had, like, say, some of the vehicles that we got with the original Kenner line. Whether it be the Bat ski boat or it be like the Penguin umbrella jet, or I think also we did get the rubber ducky vehicle as well. These figures fit perfectly with that scale, so you can still reuse those vehicles. You don't have to think, okay, I've got a 6-inch version of Penguin, I've got a 6-inch version of Batman, and if I want vehicles for these, you know, you're out of luck. But I really like this. I really like this figure quite a bit. In fact, potentially, bring in the other favorite that I really liked, the Christopher Reeve Superman. Kind of torn as to which one I like more. I think just because I love Superman so much, I might say Christopher Reeve might be my favorite from this line, but Penguin comes really close. Really close. For your articulation, Penguin's head is on a ball joint. Very limited though, because his hair kind of gets in the way. The sides of his suit vest get also in the way. So, I mean, that's really about all you're going to get for articulation. Shoulders, at least, are pin hinge sockets, ball joint hinge sockets. So they do rotate forward and back. They also do rotate out. He has a bend in the elbow, rotation in his penguin hands, which there's a better look at them for you. Then he has the waist swivel, which is harder to get to because he's got the jacket on here, but it swivels at the waist. And then his legs go forward and back and out, but very limited. I mean, that's as far forward as you can really go with them, and that's as far back as you go with his legs. But they do go out as well. So if you want to have Penguin like more dueling with his umbrella, you can kind of give him a neat stance. He has no swivel in the leg, unlike the taller figures did. But he does have a bend at the knee, very limited though. That's it. That's about all you can bend with the knee. And no swivel or anything in the legs. That doesn't bother me though. I mean, for the pros certainly outweigh the cons on this figure. He turned out so good. So much so, like, again, like, if I wish I still had like my Batman Returns, not so much maybe all the figures, but I wish I still had like the vehicles, because like getting Penguin here with like his umbrella jet, and then having maybe not necessarily Batman Returns Batman, but having Batman with like the Bat ski boat and the original Batmobile, that'd be so cool to have. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if collectors who are picking these guys up, all of a sudden, if there isn't a big boom on, you know, the likes of eBay and stuff like that for picking up the vintage vehicles, so that you can have figures like this, updated figures with those vehicles. For a rating, I'm going to give Penguin here, I'm going to give him an 8.5. And hoping, as Mattel is with reusing molds, I hope that we're going to get like a mare version of Penguin without the hat, without the hat here, and possibly without the jacket. And for retooling, you really would only need to retool the top of the head and give us different arms. And, you know, bada bing, bada boom, you've got yourself a new Penguin. So, sky's the limit. It's just a question of whether Mattel will actually follow through with this line. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Batman Returns the Penguin. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. Thanks for watching, as you always do. See you next time.